Welcome to Pets in Paradise TV, the show that explores the relationship between humans and animals in one of the most beautiful places on Earth, Hawaii. Here's what's coming up in the next half hour. We're going to explore a sport that has old roots but is again gaining popularity, the sport of dog carting. We'll follow a young Rottweiler's first attempts at carting and see how it goes. Then, we'll take a look at one of the most popular breeds of cats in the world, the Siamese. If you've considered getting a Siamese, you should be aware of their unusual characteristics. Then, we'll witness the unbreakable bond between a stray dog and a golf course maintenance worker. From being rescued to becoming part of the working crew, this dog has found his forever family. It's all ahead on Pets in Paradise TV. Carting is a competitive sport where a dog pulls a cart full of supplies, such as firewood or farming equipment, and sometimes even people. It's practiced around the world, often to keep winter sled dogs in top shape during the off-season.
The Rottweiler was originally bred to take things to market. So the butcher would sit on the cart, take the dog and all his meat or his milk and whatever he was doing down to the market, and then he would sell it there and come home. And the great thing about the Rottweiler is he could put his change purse around his neck and it was safe to go. So they are inherently a carting dog. It is what they were, one of their purposes they were bred for.
I'm gonna get Lana out of her crate. Okay, I'm getting ready to start with my dog now, my younger dog that has no carting experience and is very fearful of things behind her. I haven't been able to do it on my own. I don't have enough help. Now I have knowledgeable people to help me.
The skilled trainers are helping Lana get used to the cart behind her without having to actually pull it.
Yes, that's my good girl. They're gonna touch it. Yep, good girl. You got the other leash to put on her?
Now that Lana is more comfortable with the cart, the trainers are attaching it to her for the next phase. It can be uncomfortable at first, but they're supporting the cart to make it lighter and easier for Lana to turn.
Bring it around so the shafts are straight behind her. Oh, God, don't break your leg. Sit. Lana, sit.
Good girl. Okay, so now what we've done is we've created a safe spot for her.
They reward her with praises and treats, which goes a long way.
Good girl, good girl. That's a good job. She is doing better than I ever dreamed she'd be able to do because she is a very skittish dog about things behind her and things that suddenly touch her. So this is, instincts are taking over and she's doing her job. Right turn.
Dogs instinctually like to pull things, which makes them perfect to help around the farm and to assist with transportation. But most dogs need to be trained, and the learning curve varies.
My dog Mina generally is a nervous type of dog. She doesn't like anything new. She doesn't like new experiences. She doesn't like noisy, any kind of noisy contraptions. So I thought it would be a great idea for her to come out and try carting. I walked with the cart right behind me next to her and she seemed okay. She didn't seem nervous.
But it didn't take long for things to turn south with this new experience. Stay tuned to see if Nina's carting instinct kicked in or if she's just had enough of this sport. Because of the Rottweiler's low center of gravity and strong legs, this breed has been helping humans pull heavy things for hundreds of years. But there's another breed with a similar body build that's growing in popularity in pulling competitions. The Pit Bull is one of the more popular dogs when it comes to weight pulling competition. They've been known to pull 10 to 20 times their own body weight, and some dog owners actually treat their dogs like athletes. They undergo special training and workouts to make sure there aren't any injuries. What makes these dogs want to pull such heavy weights? It's simply the love they have for their owners. Rottweilers were bred to be carting dogs. Dogs were used and are still used to help transport goods to the market, around the farm, or to pull sleds. While it's an enjoyable sport for most dogs, some would prefer running free. Let's see how Nina is doing after her first day at carting.
So we tried to correct her obedience to make her to stay.
Taking it one step at a time, Nina managed to overcome her fear. The food definitely helped serve as a motivation, and the patience paid off for all these trainers.
We were able to just slowly, one step at a time, get her to walk with the cart attached to her. So she was still nervous, but she was able to walk with it.
Although Nina needs more practice, she's completed the hardest hurdle, and it will likely be smoother from here. The next Rottweiler we're going to see is an experienced service dog. Let's put his carting skills to the test.
Oh, he's going to help me with balance and mobility as a service dog.
Hazmat is going to learn carting for some real-world experience in the workplace.
And I thought that I could put the material or equipment that I have in the carts, and then he can help me transport it to the classrooms. And of course, bring a smile to the children's face at school. Teresa, the trainer, got Hazmat and I comfortable enough. I was able to sit down in the cart, and he was able to pull me in the cart, and that was, in a way, it was a little scary because I wasn't sure how he was going to be, if he was going to get a little skittish, but he did so well, and it was actually fun to be pulled in a cart, not by a horse, but my own dog, so that was fun.
Carting can be for dogs of all breeds and sizes.
This is Boomer. He's a long-haired dachshund, 2.5 years old, male. He's a rescue dog. I've had him for about 1.5 years.
Boomer may be too small to pull a person, but as you can see, he has an enormous will and heart.
Today's our first time carting. We're trying to learn something new to give him something to do.
Whoops, we're going right out of the harness.
He's partially handicapped. He has hearing impairment. He's not completely deaf, but he has a certain hearing deficit.
Although some may see his hearing impairment as a disadvantage, it was likely an advantage to Boomer, who couldn't hear the cart rattling behind him. The noise of the cart can be startling to many dogs, but it didn't bother Boomer.
He was a little bit nervous at the beginning. This cart for his size dog is rather heavy. The ones that the big dogs are pulling by proportion to their body weight are rather light. The homemade cart that we're pulling is rather heavy for his body size. He's only 10 pounds. So I think that had an effect on what he was able to do out there. He's not used to pulling that weight.
Karting can be a great sport for dogs from all walks of life, not to mention a fun and helpful skill to have. Whether they do it competitively or just for fun, it's enjoyable for the whole family. If you're a cat owner, you probably have tried to teach your cat some tricks, but learning new skills varies from breed to breed. Do you know which cats are easiest to train? The top 5 breeds of cats that are easiest to train are the Abyssinian, the American or domestic Shorthair, the Bengal, the Savannah, and in 5th place, a breed we're going to find out more about in the next story, the Siamese. The Siamese cat originated in Thailand, which used to be Siam, and there are 2 versions. The original breed, which is known as a Thai cat, and the modern Siamese cat, which was bred from the Thai cat. They're sometimes called Miezers. The Thai cat has features that are considered old style, with a more rounded head and body than the modern Siamese, which has a triangular head shape, large ears, and an elongated muscular body and coloration at its points. The original Thai cat is a very old breed and is thought to have been around since the 14th century. It's been mentioned in literature throughout history, but became mainstream when it was introduced to England in the late 1800s. Breeding to establish desired characteristics resulted in the Siamese that we know today. But the International Cat Association and other cat organizations recognize both the Siamese and the Thai cat. The markings of the Siamese are quite interesting. The pointed pattern is caused by a mutated enzyme that is heat sensitive, which means that the parts of the cat's body that are cooler develop the darker coloration, like the ears and face. The distinctive coloration starts appearing several weeks after birth and gets darker as the cat ages. Siamese cats living in warm climates have lighter coats than those who live in cold climates. The colorations include seal point, blue point, chocolate point, and lilac point. All Siamese have blue eyes. Siamese cats are very intelligent and affectionate and are one of the few breeds that will fetch objects like dogs. They want to be near people or other cats and are known to fall into depression if left alone for long periods of time. Breeders like to sell them in pairs so they keep each other company. The lifespan of a Siamese, unfortunately, is shorter than other breeds. The median lifespan is between 10 and 12.5 years. As for health problems, many Siamese suffer from mammary tumors and urinary tract infections. Asthma and bronchial disease, as well as heart problems, are also common. They're also often cross-eyed, a condition related to the enzyme that causes their point coloration, but they focus just fine. Siamese are considered easy to groom. They shed less than other breeds. Their personality is distinctive in the cat world. Not only do they fetch, but they're also talkative and opinionated. They're socially demanding, and anyone considering a Siamese must be willing to spend more time with them than with other breeds. Siamese are best as house cats. If allowed to go outdoors, they're susceptible to diseases just like other cats. But Siamese can also be the victims of being stolen by people who want a beautiful cat without paying for it. If you're considering a Siamese, keep in mind the personality traits. They love to talk, they love to interact, and they love to be with you all the time. And consider getting a pair. They'll be much happier with someone to play with when you run out of steam. And now you know all about the Siamese cat. There are some odd laws regarding animals and pets around the world. Which country do you think has the strangest laws? The strangest pet laws in the world have to be the ones found in Switzerland. The Swiss Animal Rights Code specifies that for certain types of pets, including hamsters, guinea pigs, mice, and ferrets, each animal must have a companion of the same kind. But what if you have two and one dies? Ah, a solution! There are businesses where you can actually rent a guinea pig or other animal so you won't go afoul of the law. This is the story about a second chance and an unbreakable bond.
Tuji was a dog with no name, hurt, with a limp, hungry, thirsty, lost, abandoned. We just don't know, but now she's living a good life. First got the call on the radio that there was a loose dog in the property. We thought it was a hunting dog. Came up the stairs and there she was lying over here. She was just timid, so what I did, just pet her, let her sniff my hand, and just basically introduce myself.
Well, Caesar was the first to pick up Doogie from the parking lot, and I think that's formed a bond between those two.
She just came up right to me, very friendly, jumped in my golf cart, and I called her over, and she jumped right on. I noticed she was limping, so I was concerned she was really hurt on that. Gave her some water to drink.
Caesar took her back to the shop and nursed her back to health, fed her, and gave her water. I think that formed a strong bond between the two.
And it was instant how they have a connection. Anywhere that you see Caesar, within just a few yards, Doogie runs by. And anytime you see Doogie, you know Caesar's close by. It's really special. It's a fun event, and everybody actually looks forward to seeing the two of them run around the course together.
Okay, this is our golf course maintenance building here at Kola Golf Club. And this is where I brought the dog once we brought her down from the clubhouse, just so we weren't too sure how she was going to react to strangers and things like that. So we tied her up over here. And after a couple hours, noticed that she's very friendly to the crew, to our contractors coming in, any visitors. So we just let her loose, and ever since then, this is her home.
From limping to running miles a day, Doogie travels the golf course with Caesar and has become somewhat of a celebrity, attracting attention from everyone on the green. But she doesn't let it get to her head. She's a working dog at heart.
It's really up to her if she wants to ride the golf cart or not. But usually she chooses to run alongside or run behind and check out what's going on in the course today. So she definitely is in great shape now. She runs anywhere from 10 to 15, 16 miles a day. Our regular guests always ask about her, how she's doing, where she's at, if she's not with me. And she's very helpful for the crew. She chases the mongoose off the course, the pigs off the course. When I'm driving and she's running, and she has some sense of where I'm going, she knows all the shortcuts. So instead of running an extra mile and a half, she'll take that shortcut. Like for instance here, she'll cut over on this side of the green where I have to drive all the way around, and she'll meet me on the other side.
Doogie didn't become a golf course celebrity canine overnight. It all started with a name.
When we found her, we called her the dog, and so I said, why don't we name her Doogie, which is D-O-G, Do, D-O, and G. So we came up with the name Doogie.
First, we were really concerned where she was going to go to the bathroom. But after a while, we realized that she's not only potty trained, but golf course trained.
She chases chickens around once in a while, but never seems to get one. But she's a good old dog.
Things are going great for Doogie since the chance meeting with Caesar that turned her life around, but they did have some hard times.
So about 3 days after we found her, she had a puppy, but sadly the puppy was a stillborn, and we didn't even know she was pregnant. It was sad that the puppy didn't make it. We buried the puppy out in the mountains over here, but now she's living a good life. She's very happy, she's very content. She's a sweetheart of a dog, and I think she's very happy staying with us and living here at the golf course.
Hi, is it lunchtime? Yeah, it's lunchtime? Okay. Look at that. Leftover, the best bamboo to be on the island.
Doogie has totally imprinted herself on Caesar. She will not do anything without his permission. She comes up here for lunch. If we're feeding her and he decides to drive off, then she's got to figure out how she's going to finish her food and run after him, or just leave the food and go.
Bond between her and Caesar is pretty strong. You know, you can be sitting here and feeding her like this, and once Caesar starts moving, she'll stop, she'll quit eating, and then she'll just follow Caesar to wherever he's going.
Everybody says, hey, your dog, how's your dog, and all that, but you know what, she adopted me. It's a quite interesting relationship that we're really bonded.
If we're ever looking for Caesar, we know where to find him. When we see Doogie around, we know Caesar is within 100 yards.
If I ever left Colau Golf Club, of course she'd come with me wherever I went.
For the folks at Colau Golf Course, Doogie is more than just a pet or a mascot. She's family. She even has an official ID of sorts on her collar.
So at the end of the day, I close up the building, lock her up, put the alarms on, and close the gate. She's still able to get free roam of the golf course and her surroundings. So at night, this is where she spends her night, and she spends it sleeping here on my cot, and in the morning she greets me when I come back to work. We always wondered about her previous life, how she was raised, how she was trained, if she was around kids, what her owner was like. It would be great to find out how she lived before, because she's very much a great dog, a great companion, one of those dog stories that at the end always jerks at your heart and puts a tear in your eye. Good night, Doogie. Be a good girl. See you tomorrow morning.